Hey guys, it's Brad here again today. Today I'm going to start fixing the tank room disaster, or fish room disaster tank. So I've already stripped a little bit of the silicone to see what I was dealing with, and I don't know how easy it's going to be showing up in the video. Zoom it in a little bit here for you guys. If you look, the back panel has a little bit of flex to it. So the way I'm going to combat this is I've got some glass strips. They're 3/4 inch glass, 3 inches wide, and they're as tall as the tank. I'm going to be putting a strip on each side. I'm going to put one strip down here, another strip down here, and it's going to reinforce that corner, and I'm going to use it to create a new corner on top of the existing corner. So first things first, I need to finish cleaning up the silicone all the way down to the bottom, and I need to remove the bottom bead for at least 3 inches on each side. I'll probably go straight to the corner and recreate that bead. I need to clean the glass. I'm going to be cleaning all the calcium deposits off using muriatic acid, and I'm going to be using razor blades and acetone to remove the rest of the deposits, because the silicone will leave a bit of a residue, and the more you can remove the better. So the stuff that I got to be able to do this job is the muriatic acid. You make sure you wear gloves when you're doing this, and be careful when you're working in an enclosed space. I've had it gases off a little bit, and it can cause lung issues. I got single edge razor blades, a big pack of 100 because I always use them in the fish room, a razor blade scraper. I prefer this type of handle over the retractable one. I've had the retractable one in the past and it doesn't work very good. For this job I got GE Silicone 1. You have to make sure that it's not, oh, it's the front side, sorry. You have to make sure that it's not the mold and mildew resistant one, which is GE Silicone 2, and they changed the packaging recently so it looks very similar. I also got acetone. I got all of this stuff at my local Canadian Tire here in Cold Lake. Most hardware stores and even Walmart should sell this, the GE all-purpose silicone. There's other silicones that you can get. There is, I think I even have some around here. Let's see what I got kicking around in the fish room. There's this one here, SCS 1200. I bought this at an aquarium store in Edmonton. This one is black. I'm going to be using it for an upcoming complete rebuild of a fish tank. There's also the Home Builders waterproof sealant, and it actually says on it safe for aquariums. This one is white. I meant to buy clear, so I'm just holding on to that one to use for other projects where it won't be as seen. So I'm going to leave this here for now. Once I get it all cleaned up and I'm ready to install the glass, I will come back. Hey guys, so the silicone's all been stripped off now. Now I'm just going to use some acetone on a piece of paper towel here to wipe down the silicone, their location for residue. So, as with the muriatic acid, I recommend that you wear gloves. Again, you can just get these at the local hardware store. So, just a quick wipe down in the area where you're going to be making your joint. I'll also be cleaning the glass pieces that will be going inside. And again, that's just to help remove any residue and make it stick better. Also, when I'm doing this, I'm going to be reinstalling one of the dividers into this tank. I only actually have to worry about the sides for this. The divider doesn't touch the bottom. So once I get the silicone in and the glass pieces are installed, it needs to cure for 48 hours, 24 minimum, but I always wait 48 just to make sure. And then I'll be leak testing it before I quick leak test. I'm going to be going to the city this week and getting some more fish. So this is how the bracing is going to be installed. There's one going here on that side, and then there's one going here. They'll be joined. There'll be a bead going in the back here to make the side piece meet the back piece, and on this side here there'll be a bead again to marry it up to there. I'll also be putting a seal bead all the way around on all the sides and onto the bottom, and it'll be covered in silicone on both the flat surfaces to give it maximum contact and maximize the strength. There'll also be a bead running straight down in here, which it's more for a seal, but it's also going to be extra glue to hold it together. So the next little bit, I'll just show you how it all ended up going back together. And this video is going to come out before I actually get a chance to leak test it. I'm doing this on Wednesday. Video comes out tomorrow, and I'm going to be leak testing it on Friday afternoon. It's not going to quite be 48 hours, but I need to make sure that it's good to go because I'm picking up some, or hopefully picking up some new fish this weekend. So, bye. Hey guys, so I got the tank all cleaned up and ready to go. I'm just going to be putting the silicone onto the glass, and I'll be putting the first piece of glass in here shortly. One thing that I find when you're getting your silicone ready is I find it easier to cut the tip at a bit of a wedge and then cut a flat spot in it. And I'll show you after I'm done with the gun here exactly what I'm talking about. Another thing to be careful of when you're using silicone is to make sure that you poke the membrane on the inside of the tip. If you don't actually poke that membrane, when you realize that it's there, because some people will accidentally use it, is they will shoot silicone membrane. I'm going to take you out of the tank here. So, get it to focus there. You can see there's a wedge, and then I cut a flat spot on there. Having that flat spot when you go to make your beads after actually makes it flow easier. So now I have the first piece ready. And I just need to put the silicone on the bottom and up the side. I'm not overly worried about how neat and orderly it looks when I do this. These are going to be covered seams, and I'm going to be making another bead after to actually create a seal. So, as you can see, there is some air pockets in there. They're not going to affect the integrity of the repair. Cosmetically, they are going to be a bit of an eyesore. But this is a fish room tank, it's not a display tank. So I'm not 100% worried about cosmetics. I also have a tendency to let a bit of algae build up on the back of my tanks. So once that starts to build up, it won't be as noticeable. So I'm just preparing the last piece of glass. In the same way, I'm just making a big S scribble up and down the entire length of the panel. Now I could, if I wanted to, actually get a putty knife and I could spread it to actually slather it and make it an even seam. But with the way that I'm doing this repair, I don't believe I need to do that. So make sure I press it in nice and tight. Getting good contact on all the areas that I put the silicone. So now, just need to make a little bit of a bead on the outside of all the pieces. And I think I twisted the output a little bit, which it does happen sometimes. Now, if I was to do this to a show tank, I would be a lot more careful in what I'm doing. But because this is just a fish room tank and I'm just going to be using it for my own breeding or people who want to come and visit the fish room, I'm not overly concerned about what it looks like. Now, when you go to actually smooth out the seams, I find it's a little bit easier if you have a wet finger. Some people like to use a spoon. I've always just used my finger. I find that the amount of silicone that I actually get on my finger isn't too bad. And if you want to clean up any mess after, like you can see it's bulged out there, the best bet is actually to leave it, let it cure, and then trim it with a knife. If I start putting my fingers in there and mucking around with it, you will know very quickly that there was a mess with the silicone. And the last thing I'm going to be doing is, sorry guys, we're going to be coming over to this other side here. I'm going to be installing a glass divider. Now there's no structural components to this glass divider, so I'm not overly concerned with the quality of the silicone. The glass divider is just here to turn this into a 3-part tank again instead of as a 2-part tank. So first things first, just put a bead of silicone in. Bring the divider in. Press it into place. And just run a quick bead up all the edges. Then smooth the bead. So there you have it, the repair to the tank. That should be plenty strong to be able to hold it. I am probably going to be rebuilding all of these tanks, doing similar repairs to them with the new divider installed. So 3 compartments. The water will flow between the compartments, but you can see they're tight down. Guppy fry were able to get in between them. I'm not overly concerned about the guppy fry being able to get around. I'm going to be using that mostly for plants, and I just want to be able to divide off the plants. So you can see the tanks are a little algae covered right now. I just got back from my business trip. My son was doing his best to take care of the fish. Unfortunately, a few days he forgot to turn off the lights. I did lose some fish. My wife did her best, but she is not really a fish person. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative on how to do a repair to a tank. And make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you did and didn't like about my videos. I have no problem attempting to fix what I can. And stay tuned for next week's video. Have a good day.